Good afternoon, everybody. It's not Amit. I'm not as good looking, but you know what? I will try to entertain. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everybody's coming away unscathed. Got a lot of things going on today. A lot of things. Before we get into everything, do me a favor. Please read the disclaimer. I am not your financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I have no idea what your situation is. Please do your own due diligence. Make decisions based on what is right for you. Thank you very much. Well, another day in the books, almost 14 minutes. And we have a lot to go over. So let's take a look at where the tape is. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm liking Robinhood Legend. I don't know. I like it. What can I say? It's easy for what I want to do. Couple of stocks trying to make a move. Broadcom is up on the day. Salesforce is making a move to the upside. You got Nebius and Next both up. Palantir up. QXO starting to rebound. Rocket Lab up. The XLE and the XLF both up. The XLK up. Zeta up. All right, a little bit. I still see big tech down. 388 for Microsoft, 605 for Meta. Meta is hanging in there. Meta is not flipping to the downside. When I say that, I mean under 600, obviously. By the way, I feel like people on X tag me and stuff just to get me to go on a rant. And they're going to get what they want tonight, okay? Under no circumstance should Bloodsport ever be remade. It is a perfect martial art movie. Do not remake it. I repeat, do not remake Bloodsport. Please. I don't know. It is a perfect martial art movie. They should not remake it. NCAA news before we get into stocks. TCU beating Ohio State by 2 points. Hopefully you had that in the pool. I did. The other game that's done, Nebraska blew out Troy. Those are only two games that are done right now. We'll be on the NCAA watch in a little bit. Micron having a day, come back a little bit, 446. The Q's almost flat. All right, I can deal with that. So same thing as before. I will monitor CNBC. I will bring it on the way Amit does when timing permits, depending on who's on and what they're talking about. Oh, we got so fitting. We got to watch it. Wow, look at this topic. I didn't plan it this way. We're going to rewind a little bit. Has March Madness lost its magic?
Welcome back. March Madness underway with some typical heavyweights at the top of the brackets. Number one seeds include Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Florida. The question is, in today's world of big money NIL, do any so-called Cinderellas have a real shot at the title? CNBC sports and media reporter Alex Sherman joins us now with more. I mean, NC State over Houston, Villanova over Georgetown, Butler almost beating Duke. We love the Cinderella stories.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because I was just about to come on here, and I will, in fact, make the case that the Cinderella story is going to become less and less likely in this age of NIL. And meanwhile, we've got number 16 seed Siena currently beating number 1 seed Duke. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background.
Yeah,
the
because I was going to
keep yelling every time.
By the way, it's halftime. Duke is down 9 points. Now, halftime, there's still a lot to go. If Duke, and I said last night, Duke's got 2 injuries. They're not winning the whole thing. I got Arizona winning the whole thing. If Duke gets upset by freaking Siena. Everybody's bracket is busted. This isn't something where, who knows who called that, but this is going to be fine. Let them get kicked out. I think everybody's got Duke at least making it to the Sweet 16.
Siena scores a basket.
The basketball doesn't see the color green, as in money.
But what has happened is that historically, the smaller schools that make good runs are led by a group of seniors or maybe juniors and seniors. And when these players now, if any of these small schools have a player that is kind of unusually good, maybe not expected to be good, but they've just become better and better as they've gotten older, they're poached by the big schools. I talked to VCU was one of these Cinderella teams. They're the 11 seed. They played North Carolina. They made it to the Final Four 15 years ago. I spoke to their athletic director, and he said the tampering that's going on right now, it's literally happening in games where there are Power Four school assistant coaches and scouts that are talking to players of these mid-major schools.
Hey, nice three-pointer. Here's my card.
Exactly, right. And here's a little bit of money coming your way. Because the fact of the matter is, in fact, I spoke to former Syracuse head coach Jim Boeheim about this, and I asked him, what do you think? Do you think that the age of the Cinderella team is over? Listen to what he told me.
Okay.
It's very unlikely any of those schools will ever make the Final Four again. Maybe a Sweet 16, but even that is going to be hard. But the trade-off is you have better teams in the Sweet 16. You have really good basketball teams and really good games.
So if you like a world where you're rooting for all the big guys, great. I mean, the ratings, I think, are going to be very high.
I mean, it's a little hard for you not to have a Cinderella story with March Madness. We see it every year. Somebody comes out as a dark horse. So I'm not buying this.
In this new world of the chances that a mid-major school comes out and makes a big run are slim. But if you listen to him, what he's basically saying is the small schools don't have the money to compete anymore. He said you need $10 million spent on your basketball team to compete. The VCU athletic director I spoke to said VCU pays $5 million. I can only imagine what Siena pays.
He knows it firsthand, too, from the team that he used to coach and why he
won a national championship with Carmelo Anthony. I mean, oh, Tommy Dimes is here. Tommy Dimes, are you in Vegas? Are you at the Hard Rock? Where are you right now? Vegas is probably packed right now. I keep saying I want to go sit in the sports book on Thursday and Friday at the beginning of the tournament. I never end up doing it. Yes, you are. Love it, Tommy. Absolutely love it. We got 7 minutes until the market closes. I may have a bell next to me to ring. We'll see. Any other companies? No. I got to tell you, Broadcom, really interesting. BMNR coming back a little bit. We're up to 21. Let's bring Robinhood Legend back up. Yeah, I know. Siena's freaking beating Duke. Crazy. Crazy. Does anyone know why Steve is not working today? Because Steve took the day off. I don't know. Am I not allowed to take a day off? I'm entertaining everybody. I'm hanging out. I'd rather be here for you guys, hanging out. This is crazy. I still can't believe Meta at 605. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. NVIDIA's trying to come back. It's not. Thank you, Chels. Reddit down 3.25. Tesla 380. Question, how far can Tesla go? I never said I was going to go wear Lululemon if Siena beats Duke. I hate Duke, so I don't hate Duke, but they're not my team. I like Michigan State. It made me sick to my stomach that I picked Duke over Michigan State, But I love Michigan State, love Florida. Gotta tell you, LIU, they're going to get destroyed by Arizona, but I'm an LIU fan. Grew up around the corner from there. A lot of good games. VG turned red. VG turned red. All right, we're going to keep going. Really interesting. Where's oil at? Oil is important right now. Okay, oil's down 1.4%. 94.95 on WTI, which is really what we care about here in the States. Bluebird Mob, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Hey, Steve, check out the ASTS Kook DD report. Google it. Would love to have you in the space, Mob. All right, I guess I'm going to have to Google it. Jesus. ASTS is at 93.86. It's up 3.5% today. All right, let's see what this is. ASTS Kook DD report. Thank you again for this. Really appreciate it. All right, I'm downloading the report. I guess I'm going to skim it with everybody real quick. Chels, how am I joining the dark side? What's going on? What dark side? Okay, I don't even know if I can take this seriously. Can anybody take seriously a report that starts with a cartoon? I mean, wow, it's a long freaking report. All right. I'm not going to tie up everybody's time with this. I will report back. I understand the premise on ASTS. Let's see if there's anything. All right, so what is this? The time it took for selected online services to reach 100 million users. Okay. Direct to sell MNO subscribers. So they're saying ASTS has a bunch. ASTS Space Mobile has a built-in customer base of nearly 3 billion users who are existing relationships with their mobile network operator and who will be offered Space Mobile service with availability upon built out of the constellation. I mean, we're not getting rid of cell phones, so I don't know what to think of this. I don't know what to think of this at all. I'm sorry. I will do a bunch of DD. I can't take 30 minutes and just go through this. There's a lot to digest. I'll send this also to one of my friends that's an engineer and have them look at this. I will look through it, though. I will definitely look through it. Thank you, DG. Really appreciate it. Listen, I'm happy to fill in for Amit, Happy to fill in for Amit. He is going to be on a plane. Love hanging out with everybody. All right, let's see where we are at. It is 3:59. The Dow is at just over 46,000. The S&P is just over 6,600. The NASDAQ over 22,000. Crude slipping. Getting a little bit of a rally right now, everyone. Let's see where the SPY is. Let's bring it up on Legend. See where the SPY is. The SPY is 659.83, and the market is closed. The market is closed, everybody. Yes, I have a small bell. That's the best I could find. I will find a cowbell like Amit at some point. The market is closed, though. I got to tell you, this isn't horrible. Let's bring it up on the alpha. I don't hate this, everyone. Look at this. 46,000 on the Dow, 6,600 on the S&P, and then you got 22,090 on the NASDAQ. You got a little bit of reversal. We're down today. Amit, I got the bell. I rang the bell, Amit. I rang the bell. I got you. I just don't have a cowbell like you. But you know what? We got a little bit of reversal. I'm not hating this at all. I am not hating this. Amit late for the bell. Tommy Dimes. Listen, I'm glad I can entertain everybody with that. I am glad. Rusty, you're too kind. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Rusty. Thank you. Really do appreciate it. Oh, we got some news. Alibaba dropping after hours, it looks like. Let's see what's going on with Baba. What happened? Not that I don't know anybody that down 7%. Look at this. All right, Alibaba down 7% today. They report what happened. Yes, they reported. Stock sinks after revenue miss, raising doubts on AI ambitions for investors. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to go through the quarter. This is going to get interesting. Baba is their largest cloud provider in China, so that is very interesting. Yeah, I don't follow Baba. It just came into my feed. So sorry. This is why we need Amit back. Can't take me anywhere. I get it. I get it. Crude under 95. All right, let's go to CNBC for a sec. Crude is under 95.
Genuine buying because it has really been very twitchy and kind of tactical action.
Yeah, 6,600, like a line in the sand. Everybody is watching. Michael, I'll see you in overtime with Mel. Thank you. That's Mike Santoli. Frank, man, I mean, there was a time we were talking about the transports just.
Whoa. They may see that Chevron 201. Nobody, listen, I can't say that I listen to myself because I barely bought Chevron at 135, 140. I did buy a little, not nearly enough. I don't think anybody listened. Chevron at that point was I swear, Amit needs to take control of my account. I swear to God. Wait, we got news out of Amit. I'm about to go get the best Chinese food in San Jose. Amit, you better be scouting out places for next week.
Crushing it. Now we've had all this noise, and now we get a key earnings report.
Yeah, yo. By the way, FedEx lower earlier, moving higher into the close, also up almost 20% since its last earnings as investors were bullish on U.S. growth. And even with the Iran conflict, revenue estimates for FedEx, they've actually ticked up, but EPS estimates, they moved a bit lower, partly due to headwinds from the grounding of some planes and a freight slowdown. Now, FedEx also raised its rates by 6% this year. JP Morgan put out a note about customers saying, in part, many continue to work on ways to trade down to deferred services or minimize their need to use parcel, but we still do not see shippers leaving FedEx and UPS. The question is, could they switch from UPS to FedEx or FedEx to UPS? All right, this quarter pricing.
I don't know. I'm not a FedEx UPS guy. I think they got a lot of competition from Amazon, to be brutally honest. So let's go. They got Stephanie Link coming on, so I want to hear what she has to say.
Thank you. All right. Stephanie Link, let's kick this around here. You saw those, headlines. I thought Eamon just so perfectly described how people are digesting anything that moves from any levels of key leadership. You could take some comments as bullish. You can take others as bearish. The market not really sure what to do, and that may just be the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future.
We are really oversold, though, Scott, and the underlying data points that we continue to see on a real-time basis, the economy, are actually pretty good. The claims numbers today, another new low at 205,000. The Philly Fed number ratcheted up in a huge way, and GDP is running at about 2.3%. All right, let's call it 2 to 2.5%. I think, Scott, if we wait for certainty, we're going to miss really great opportunities. So I
agree with that. Remember, the all clear never happens until everybody knows it's all clear. They're in investing. There is never, ever, ever anybody there saying, all right, time to get back in. That doesn't happen. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to happen. Nobody knows when it's going to turn to the downside exactly. But she's right, in my opinion.
Might be wrong in buying some of the stocks that I have been over the last couple of weeks that you and I have talked about. But I think I might be wrong near term, but I think longer term, I'm going to be really happy that I did buy some really quality companies where earnings estimates actually went up after they reported, but the stocks are down.
I don't hear many others saying we're oversold like you just did. What gives you that perspective when I think there are many views out there that suggest we haven't seen enough selling before the coast is clear?
Well, the S&P oscillator is something that I look at, and it's at -8. Anything -5 and lower is oversold. So there's that. But
I don't look at that. Maybe I should start looking at that.
But the more important thing is, while the overall averages are okay, kind of hanging around, S&P down, 3.5%, the equal weight is flat on the year. There are many stocks and sectors that are down far more. And so that's what I am paying attention to. And it's in the financials, and it's in the industrials, and it's in discretionary. It's more of the cyclicals. They were working in January and February, and then the war came, and they just totally rolled over hard. I think that there are a lot of great opportunities in those sectors.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, like a name like Micron, right? They knocked the cover off the ball, stock goes down. That's not concerning to you?
No, I mean, the stock it's been a moonshot in the year to date. So it might just take a little bit of profits in the near term, but the fundamentals are still amazingly strong.
Yeah, listen, Micron is so inexpensive here. And I do want to answer this question from Rachel. So, Steve, earlier when I asked if you would buy Meta or Amazon, I forgot to add NVIDIA to the 3. NVIDIA is the cheapest out of the 3. I think the problem with NVIDIA, everybody's worried about boom bust cycle. The fact that you had 2 incredible quarters with NVIDIA and it couldn't break out on either of them worries me a little bit. I do think NVIDIA is undervalued, and I am considering buying more. But just because I'm considering it doesn't mean it's the right move. Out of the 3, I think long-term, 10, 20 years, Meta and Amazon have more potential. But I think in the next year or two, NVIDIA's got more firepower. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. And NVIDIA is not for me. I always said that this is something I'm going to pile into and I'm going to exit at some point. This is not something that I'm planning on holding for 5 to 10 years. It could turn out to be that, but that's not how I'm thinking going into, or at least sticking with the NVIDIA play right now. This was more of a midterm thing for me. And yes, Stephanie Link was very early Broadcom. We all should have listened to her on that one.
The same thing happened with Broadcom, by the way, and I was adding to that. The same thing has happened to Synopsys, and I was adding to that in ServiceNow. So there are opportunities, again, where earnings are going higher, but the stocks are going lower. That's where I think you can have opportunities for the long term.
All right. We'll leave it there. Appreciate the time as always.
By the way, whoever said there's only 2.3% brackets out there that are perfect, I'm one of them, 100%. I mean, there's only 2 games done, so I doubt there's only 2. I mean, how many people actually got TCU Ohio State wrong? I mean, you cannot tell me 98% of the brackets out there had this wrong. I refuse to believe that. Yes, I took Arizona to win the whole thing. Really? Huh. I'm a little shocked. All right. Wall Street ends in the red, and Bezos is raising $100 billion to buy industrial firms and upgrade them with AI. Holy shit. Excuse my language. For those of you that are not used to the stream, sometimes I curse. All right, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is in the process of raising $100 billion for a new fund intended to buy up manufacturing and industrial businesses and then upgrade them with artificial intelligence tools. The fund was described as a manufacturing transformation vehicle and intends to buy companies involved in chip making, defense, and aerospace, the report said. Is it going to be public? No, it's not. It doesn't look like it's going to be public. All right. Listen, I don't think the AI cycle is anywhere close to being done, everybody. I really don't. I mean, this is not stopping anytime soon. Let's see. Prometheus sounds sounds sinister, maybe. Yeah, people do want NVIDIA over AMD. I would say that's probably an accurate statement. Did I pick High Point? Dude, oh my God. High Point beat Wisconsin. I took them in a bet. I did not take them in the pool. I had High Point in a parlay. Go figure. Well, I'm no longer 100% either. That's crazy. Chels, how do you feel about that? I know you're a Wisconsin fan. I did not buy Next the other day. No, I did not. I know we were talking about a lot. I did not buy it. Next was not. I don't know. Is Duke really going to lose? Come on. Geez, if Duke loses, forget it. SMR is interesting. I will link my article. So, Pat Parsa, I did buy Venture Global. I think I bought it $6.50. I just didn't buy a lot of it. I mean, I'm up. I'm not up enough. I get it. Why is my camera so dark? What the hell is going on? ONDS, the drone company. I don't know. I don't know what to think of them. I really have no clue. It's not a sector that I'm really that interested in. No, Marta, I am out of service now. So the only reason I sold service now is because it went up to 123.5, went up like 6-7% in a day. So I ended up exiting. Otherwise, I would have stayed in it probably, but I said it's probably going to scale back, so I ended up selling. Yeah, where is Bitcoin? Are we holding 70,000? We are holding 70,279 on Bitcoin. Who made that picture? William painted that and brought it to the meetup in New York for me. He painted a picture of Carp and Amit also. The guy has such incredible talent. Incredible talent. All right, they're talking about crude. Let's bring it back up.
North Field that had been underway. European nat gas rising more than 20% at one point today, topping 68 euros per megawatt hours at the high. Now, RBOB is holding its gains with heating oil and gas oil up more than 3% at one point. We are seeing oil diverted via pipelines to Yanbu and Fujairah in order to bypass the strait, but much of that is light oil. And what the market really needs is heavier oil, which is why the middle distillates, including diesel and jet fuel, are getting so tight. Guys?
Pippa, thanks. Pippa Stevens. So what will it take for oil prices to stabilize? Joining us now to discuss is Halima Croft, Global Head of Commodity Strategy at RBC Capital Markets and a CNBC contributor. Halima, great to see you.
So what does everybody think she's going to say? What is it going to take for oil prices to stabilize? To me, it's a no-brainer. Let's see what she says.
I wanted to first get your take on the developments out of Israel. They say that Iran no longer has the capability to enrich uranium or make a ballistic missile. How bullish is this, if at all, to the oil picture?
I mean, President Trump has said the same thing as well. And I find it remarkable that we have a major escalation last night, and then we have a sell-off because another head of state says the war is going to be over soon. That was a similar pattern that we saw with President Trump saying the war would end soon, right before the closing bell. I think we need to be looking at actions instead of words. And right now, there is still the only volumes moving through the Strait of Hormuz are basically Iranian volumes. There's no indication that there is a real plan to reopen the straits at this stage. The U.S. military has signaled that it is not prepared.
So keep in mind, all right, keep in mind, 20% of the oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the global oil supply flows through the strait. It impacts Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, UAE, impacts 8 countries. Yeah, Matt, you know why I sent you a link, Matt? Because that way you can't say, oh, Steve didn't send me a link. Get on here. Come on, hang out. Steve didn't send me a link. Can't say it. I sent you a link. I sent you a link before you could even say I didn't send you a link. Just saying, I got you.
Prepared yet to do naval escorts. So I think we're still talking about extended outages of Middle Eastern supplies to the market. I don't see any indication yet that we are really about to turn the corner and get these volumes back on the market. And the bypass routes that are available, those were targeted last night as well. Now, not taken offline, but for example, Yanbu port should not be considered necessarily secure. It's in the range of Houthi missiles that the Houthis came into the conflict, and the Iranians targeted it last night. So again, we're selling off because we have a statement that the war is ending soon.
I mean, this little strait right here is screwing so many things up. And I get it. You guys know I am trying not to be political right now. Hold on. Matt, you know what? Just come on and say it. I think everybody wants to hear you say, you think you're better than me? Everybody wants to hear you say it. Come on. Come on.
But what do we have to materially back that up?
I'm curious what you think also about the Qatar Energy CEO's comments to Reuters, which seem really interesting. The notion that 17% of capacity is going to be taken offline for 5 years. How do you think about that sort of disruption? Feasibly, other places can start making up for that lost capacity or post-war or not?
I mean, I'm deeply concerned about what's happening with LNG flows out of Qatar. I mean, there is no bypass route for LNG flows from the Middle East. And the fact is
that's great for American LNG. It's great for American natural gas. Not good for the global picture. Not good for commodity prices. But you're seeing companies like Next and VG catch a bid. I haven't looked at Cheniere, ticker symbol actually LNG, but we're seeing what's happening with Chevron, Exxon, Devon. Oxy, everything in the American patch is up. I mean, this is good for American energy. What is this, Amit? Do you want me to go here? I'm assuming you do. I'm going to have to figure out how to copy it.
We've had a shutdown of the world's largest LNG facility since the start of the conflict, Ras Laffan. Now that facility is damaged. So we are already thinking about like how long it take to get this facility back up online before we even had reports of damage. So again, I think this is worrying. We all have to hope that there are no more attacks on this facility. And I think President Trump was really eager to get the Israeli prime minister to signal that he would not be targeting Iranian oil infrastructure again, setting off a retaliatory cycle. But we just have to see where this conflict goes. And we have heard soon, excursion. We really need to have a clear path to how this conflict unwinds.
All right, so I want to bring something up for everybody, show everybody why this is so important. So if you don't use trading economics for different commodity stuff and you're interested in commodities, I highly suggest you do. To look at it, you go to commodities, or at least what I'm going to bring up. You click on crude oil, okay, and you scroll down. Crude oil production by company. This is why this is so important. Saudi Arabia is number two. Number two. And then you got Iraq, you got Iran, Kuwait, Qatar. These are all countries in the top 20. So you do have 20% of the oil supply getting constricted here. It's not good that Saudi Arabia, I mean, they're the second largest producer. They're at a choke point. It's not good. It's not good at all. And you can't just go build pipeline. That's the other thing. You can't just build pipeline. So this is also going to impact China. China only produces 4.3 million barrels per day. They are a net importer of oil. 90% of their oil, I believe, is imported. So this is going to wreak havoc on their economy if this doesn't get solved sooner than later. Breaking, Trump to build another strait for ships to go through. I doubt it. I doubt it. We'll see. I doubt it. But look, it is a very important situation. Oil runs the world. And I don't think that we're going to be hearing a lot of these things about getting off of oil. Everybody sees what's happening now. You can't get off of oil. All right. So where are we after hours? Everything's kind of the same. Everything is kind of the same after hours. Not much is changing. I am going to go to the Chicago meetup. Yes. Yes, I am. I will be in Chicago. I will be in LA next week. Put up a windmill. Oh, that's funny. Put up a windmill. I agree. Nuclear would be pretty good. Yes, the Chicago meetup is going to be fun. I think that's the first weekend in May, if I remember correctly. When's the next day I'm taking off? I'm not sure. I'll have to confer with Amit to see when he can't do the close or something. What's it going to take for NVIDIA and the whole market to get back to all-time highs? Well, that's the billion-dollar question that everybody wishes that they knew. Honestly, you're going to need oil to get back to 55 to 65 probably. You're going to need a ceasefire, oil to flow through the strait. You're going to need good economic numbers. just because, play it out. If the excursion in Iran stops and the Strait opens up, you're going to get a big relief rally. Are things going back to all-time highs? Probably not. You are going to need oil to come down. Maybe oil gets down to 75, 80. You're going to need to come down further, because when you get the economic reports and when you get the CPI reports next month, you need a consensus number not to be shook. You need the Fed to come out and say that this was only a month or a month and a half of disruption, and they're still on pace to cut over the summer. You need to get 2 rate cuts back on the table. You need to have people not worried about the cost of capital. You need people to, Chels, do me a favor. Can you ban that comment or remove that comment, please, if you're here? I'm not on YouTube, or I would do it myself. Thank you. Please don't put stuff like that in the chat, please. I'm not going to bring it more attention to it, but please don't. Yeah, Uzi, hold on. Let me make you a mod. I'm going to go into YouTube right now and make you a mod. Hold on. Bear with me, everyone. I mean, I'm good with people saying a lot of things. I'm pretty lenient with stuff, but not stuff like that. I'm sorry. Not having it. Not having it. All right, Uzi, where are you? There you are. All right, Uzi, you're a mod. Thank you. For everybody listening, please don't say stuff like that. I'm not even going to say it. It's not going to come out of my mouth. I'm just saying don't say stuff like that. It's just flat out wrong. And I would say that regardless of what religion or nationality. Like, just don't say anything like that about any group of people. It's just wrong. Period. All right. Anyway, let's get back to it. Do I think that we are going to be okay this year? I do. Look, I'm not scared. I'm not selling. I'm still buying. I'm still investing in the S&P. I'm still bullish tech. I'm still very bullish this year. I think there's a lot of good companies. I think Nebius is going to do really well. I think CoreWeave can do well. But more importantly, I think the broad market can do well. We got to get past this rough patch. This was something none of us saw. This is something that wasn't on my bingo card for the year. It really wasn't. So these are the types of markets where if you're a long-term investor and you keep buying, eventually you're going to do well. Every time the market has gone down, whether it's for a month, 6 months, a year, eventually it rebounds and eventually it makes new highs. So, I mean, do I think that we're going to make new highs in a month? No, I don't. Am I going back on my S&P 8,000? No, not right now. I may have to revise down, but it's March. We still got 9 months, everyone. Well, 9.5 months. So I don't think that it's time to worry. I certainly don't think it's time to be exiting good positions. I mean, think about this. Exiting Amazon here, what's the reason? What's the reason to exit Amazon? I don't know. I wouldn't. And I'm not. Listen, Amit does really well to cover calls. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, look, Marta, the last thing that you want is a market that goes straight up. Now, obviously, I would have rather things be where they were three weeks ago. Forget the portfolio, forget having more money in the account, right? The loss of life is horrible. So, no, I don't think anybody would want to see loss of life. It's an unfortunate situation that's happening overseas, and war's horrible. But at the same time, we are in this situation, and regardless of why we're here or how we got here, the question is, can we get out of it? I think that answer is yes. And eventually the markets will rebound. A market that goes straight up and keeps going up eventually is going to fall so much harder. So I'm not really worried about long term. Selling calls is the eighth wonder of the world until it's not, until you get caught. I mean, if you're doing weeklies, I think that's fine, but it gets difficult out there sometimes. But yeah, it's great. Tesla 380. Oh, Micron down 1430. VG is a scam. I don't know about that, but okay. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm interested in SoFi. It's starting to get to where I'm considering adding again. I want to see if it goes down further. I haven't been making any moves in the smaller portfolio. Not this week. I'm going to have to tomorrow. I should have thought about that today. All right. Altria Group staying above 65. Yes. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. I've done oh boy, Uzi, I really hope you didn't buy it because of me. I did write an article on SMR. I have not bought it yet, in full disclosure. I am warming up to it, but I think it's very interesting. Miami meetup, yes, I will be coming to Miami. I actually have a bunch of friends down in Miami, so I'll probably spend a little bit more time down in Miami than I would have some other ones. We'll see. But I have some business associates down there. I have some friends down there. So yes, I would definitely be interested in staying in Miami for at least 4 or 5 days. All right, let's see. Oh, this is not good. So if anybody's flying, this is definitely not good.
Okay. NBC is pulling the newest season of The Bachelorette featuring influencer and reality from work on. The images show the charred walls, broken glass, and debris left after a man rammed a truck into the building. Security opened fire and fatally shot the suspect. No staff or children were injured in the attack. Synagogue officials wrote that their goal in sharing the.
I thought they were talking about TSA. TSA officer absences ground. I mean, that's not good. Freaking horrible. Yeah, Amit missed his flight to Cali. Yeah, I get on the next one. I mean, it's insane. I'm flying out at 7:25 in the morning. I feel like I'm going to have to freaking get to the airport at like 4 in the morning. I really am not looking forward to that at all. The meetup next week is in California. Bought an SCO today. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't even know what SCO is. Oh, the Bloomberg crude oil. I don't know. I mean, let me bring this up. So this may not be a bad strategic bet. We're not going to say investment, but bet, because if you get an end to the excursions, and if the strait opens back up, this is going to come back up to 15 to 20. So this is not a horrible idea, but this can also go much freaking lower. And where did it go during I don't know. I want to see. There is not nearly as much movement as I thought there would have been during the Russia-Ukraine, the beginning of that war. Not nearly as much movement. This is interesting. I'm not getting involved, but it's interesting to say the least. So I think this is an educated bet if somebody wants to make it. Oh, let's see. I just flew out of Fort Lauderdale early Sunday morning and waited an hour. People in line were missing flights. I got there early. Yeah. DHS is not being funded. As of now, I don't even know if there's going to be a vote anytime soon. They're not paying the agents because TSA is part of Homeland Security, and they're not funding the Department of Homeland Security right now. DraftKings 25. I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of DraftKings anymore. It's something that I was really interested in. I think DraftKings is going to be it's a hard sell to me. It really is. Oh, Katie's on. Hold on. Let's bring her up.
Contributor Katie Stockton. Katie, gold, is it game over? Just a break? How are you seeing it?
I see it just as a break. I think we usually should assume that the prevailing trend will resume. But for now, it is definitely an off phase for the precious metals. We had a loss of upside momentum that was pretty meaningful behind both gold, silver, and even beyond that, platinum, palladium, et cetera. And I want to respect that as something that is indicative of maybe even just more than a short-term correction, something that could be a bit longer in duration. We're talking about maybe months even, not just weeks. So a prolonged pause, and that's based in part on the overbought, oversold metrics that we track. We already had these older overbought downturns, but there are active sell signals from the DeMark indicators on the daily, weekly, and monthly charts of gold. And that's something that you don't see too often, and it does suggest that they did get ahead of themselves.
Oh, gold at 5,000. I agree. I mean, to me, it's crazy that gold got that high. I don't know. I think 5,000 gold's kind of crazy. Matt, are you coming on? What's going on here? Everybody wants to know, when is Matt coming on? That's the most important thing today. So let's answer some of your questions right now. So QXO, I think, is really interesting here, but I think it can go lower. Look, the problem with QXO right now is you need lower rates to unlock the housing market. You need lower rates for the builders to borrow, and you're not getting that right now. That's first off. Second off, you have an environment where they're not closing deals the way that we thought they would. They had 7 deals in the pipeline. I believe only 1 has gone through. And oil higher is increasing transportation costs. So, I like QXO. I think it is a great buy, but it's long term. It's probably going to go down a little bit, in my opinion. And then what is my must buy NVIDIA price? I don't know that I want to say a must buy, but I will frame it like this. If NVIDIA gets to 160, okay, I don't think it goes lower. So, yeah, I'm monitoring the situation with QXO. I like it a lot. I just think right now it's a very unpredictable market, and QXO can go lower before it goes higher. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 15 again before we see 30. My opinion. I could be 100% wrong. I DCA into a lot of things. I was averaging up on NVIDIA, so we'll see. Oh, whoa. Hold on a second, everyone. Is Kalshi going public? We got a news alert. I'm bringing it up right now. Kalshi may be going public? News alert.
Well, just in time to coincide with March Madness. How's this for madness? In just 2 months, the Wall Street Journal reports Kalshi has doubled its valuation from $11 billion to $22 billion with a new fundraising round, $1 billion led by investment firm Co2 Management. Just in December, they had announced a $1 billion fundraise that valued the prediction platform at $11 billion. I did reach out to Kalshi and just now heard back from them that we are declining to comment on the rumored round. All of this, Melissa, of course, around a lot of spotlight and attention paid to the amount of trading volume Kalshi and its competitors, Polymarket, Crypto.com, and even DraftKings and FanDuel prediction platforms are doing in this new kind of wagering on sports.
Contessa, thanks. Contessa Brewer.
Yeah, I don't know. Kalshi's interesting. I'm still up in the air about prediction markets. I think they're a good value add for companies like Robinhood. I swear to God. For now, Steve for Guys, amazing Reddit to talk, LOL. What do you mean by that? Reddit is it's starting to come back a little bit. 138.89. It's almost 140. Nice. The interesting thing about Kalshi is people love gambling, and that's never going to stop. I mean, Kalshi's very interesting. I don't know. It's not for me. Do I like Reddit? Yeah. I mean, I don't own it, but I think the numbers are very interesting. SanDisk, we looked at yesterday. The numbers are not as enticing. Jason looked at it with us. No, that was Wednesday. I'm sorry. The numbers are not nearly as enticing as Micron's. It's interesting, but Micron looks so undervalued. Do you put 2% milk in Miller Lite? No. What are you doing? Don't ruin your milk with Miller Lite. Please stop. Please stop. Yeah, SanDisk, great company. I mean, how we all miss this is crazy. I mean, SanDisk is up 1,300%. Craziness. Young men developing gambling addictions and creating financial hardship. I got news for everybody. Young men have been gambling for a very long time. I grew up running a poker game. I grew up freaking playing gin in the caddy yard at 14 years old. You don't need a prediction market to gamble. So, I don't know. I think whether Kalshi or any of those companies are there, you're always going to have gambling. It just makes it easier. You know, Jam, I feel you. I owned AMD at 367 and I sold it at 367 after it made a round trip from $1.98. And I can't touch AMD out of bias. I hate myself for it. I'm not writing an autobiography. That's never going to happen. Chels is 100% correct. 100% correct. Doc Holliday and Rounders, I mean, I'm in. I'm in. I'm glad I'm able to entertain everybody. I'm glad you're having fun. Thank you. I am not taking over for Amit. I am just filling in. Nobody can replace Amit. So if he's not able to do it, I will certainly step in if I can. Let's see. HSBC is downgrading Eli Lilly. Can't say I'm that surprised. FedEx is ripping after earnings, you guys are saying? Let's see. Yeah. Oh my. Wow. I guess FedEx is onto something. It's just not something I'm interested in. Up 8% after hours. Yeah, that's awesome. It's just not something I'm interested in at all. I don't even know how to handicap FedEx at this point. I'm not taking market share from AK Media. AK Media is on a break. AK Media is on a flight right now. We're at the airport. So Amit will be back tomorrow. He will be back tomorrow. It would be nice if the man, the myth, the legend, the White House quant would come on. He doesn't want to. He must be mad at me or something. FedEx, from a after hours perspective, is doing better than NVIDIA. I wouldn't say that their earnings are better. I mean, NVIDIA's earnings were incredible. And we got to see, I mean, maybe we start to get a little bounce. The most important thing is going to be that the Strait opens up and oil starts to flow. That's the most important thing right now. The people do want Matt from House Money, 100%. I don't want to get up to turn the Milk Gang sign on. I'm sorry. I'm nice and comfortable. Yep. You can see Amit is doing the open tomorrow. Absolutely. So something that you guys have been asking, what I would be buying, you know, I keep thinking about it. And this market's so weird, but the way I look at it, is anybody going to stop using Instagram? Is anybody going to stop using Facebook because oil's high? And how much does that really impact Meta? Only on the electricity cost for the data centers. Like, I really like Meta. I really do. I'm biased, and I'll admit that I'm biased because I've owned Meta for more than a decade. But it is such a great company. You look at their numbers, it is a great company. So we'll see. I am wearing, oh no, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts, if you must know. If you must know, I am wearing shorts. So oil, I'll agree to some extent. It doesn't impact Meta, Alphabet, or Microsoft the way it does other companies, but higher energy prices does impact them with their data centers. But companies are not getting rid of Azure or Google Cloud. They're not stopping their advertising spend. I really think that we're going to see a rotation from wherever the hell we are to back to big tech. I mean, does this make sense at all? Really think about this. When you think of a value company, what do you think of? Shoot me names. Shoot me names in the chat. Okay. I am not watching March Madness right now. I had 4 games on my TV before. I am not watching it right now. I'm hanging out with all of you, trying to entertain. Thank you so much. Grab you a BW share and some Doom Oreos and tell me what you think about them. I need to go get some Doom Oreos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. A lot of you are saying Microsoft. I mean, here's the crazy part. If you had said value company to me last year, I'm thinking Coca-Cola. I'm thinking Procter & Gamble. I'm thinking all these companies. The State Street Spider portfolio S&P 500 value, the top holdings, Apple, Amazon, Exxon, Walmart, Costco. How Tesla is a value company, I have no freaking clue. Okay? But the fact that Apple and Amazon are the 2 top value companies is crazy. It's crazy. In what world are these value companies? I think that they're too inexpensive. I think that these companies are cheap. And Amazon should trade at a higher multiple than Chevron and Exxon. I truly believe that. I truly do. Let's see what the hell Seeking Alpha says. 3 things to look forward to on Friday. Chinese electric vehicle maker XPeng reports Friday the company closed 2%, up 2%, and saw a 7-day winning streak last week. Although it is down 5.6 year to date, its shares have risen 8.4% from a month ago. Morgan Stanley recently published positive remarks on its VLA 2.0 autonomous driving system, blah, 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 blah. The gold spot price for the second thing slid 3.4% on Thursday to around $46.50 per ounce, weakest level since mid-January. Okay. U.S. Treasury yield surged on Thursday, 2-year jumping 9 basis points to 3.87%, highest level in over 7 months. 10-year rose to 4.3%. 30-year climbed 4.9%. God, the 30-year at close to 5% hurts. Another reason we need rates to come down so we can refinance debt and shave a couple $100 billion off the national debt in interest payments. I mean, that's crazy. Absolutely freaking crazy. Red Cat is down. Archer Aviation, $6. I haven't seen that name in a while. Oh, don't say I'm as great as Amit. Amit is awesome. He's way better than me. Way better than me. And yes, the community is about supporting each other. I think that we have one of the best communities on YouTube, if not the best collectively. It's incredible. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, let's see what they're saying. Bumpy ride for markets. Say that again, right?
Obviously, valuations have come off the boil. Investor sentiment has moderated. There's certainly not a lot of excess optimism out there anymore. But you mentioned financial conditions tightening, and I guess that can have real economic effects. So are we still talking about a growing economy, growing earnings, and those things we thought we were going to have in 2026?
It's getting to be a more complicated answer, isn't it? Because as the financial conditions tighten, because we are seeing some inflation data that are starting to sort of tick up again. PPI number, of course, was very hot, producer price index. And we are seeing some squeeze a little bit from the tariffs here. So interest rates really can't go down. So we no longer have that Fed easing sort of a backdrop for investors. And we've got to look at the hard numbers and where is growth coming from. On the other hand, we're still spending a lot of money as a government, $2 trillion a year in deficit spending. As long as that money continues to surge in, I think the economy continues to stay alive, and it can happen for a few more years. Opportunities are still out there, though. I mean, you get Microsoft at 21 times earnings. I disagree with your last guest, by the way. I've owned Lilly for a long time. I'm very happy with it when I see the way it's expanding on a fundamental driven argument and on its balance sheet. I'm not selling a share of my Lilly. If it comes down weaker, I might add some. But also, like Microsoft, you have to look at NVIDIA and Google. Some of the Mag 7 I think are presenting some opportunities in here as a result of the weakness. We're only down like 7% from the all-time highs. We're down 3.5% year to date. Not really even a correction yet, but be patient and disciplined because opportunities are cropping up.
I'm going to second that. And let's go see where we ended the day with valuations. I agree with what he said. I mean, it's crazy that the companies that people are rotating out of are the ones that are doing 100 billion plus in cash flow, not free cash flow, cash flow. That, to me, that's nuts. I mean, look at this. NVIDIA at 13.5 times forward earnings. This is wild. Meta at 15 times forward and 20 times this year's earnings. I've never seen Amazon this inexpensive. Never. 27 times this year, 17.7 times 2028. I mean, oh. Kevin, thank you very much. What's ADM? Is that Archer Daniels? Is that what ADM is? Yeah, Archer Daniels Midland. Food company. Yeah, I'd have to look into it. Give me a few minutes. We'll do it live. Give me a few minutes. I will not forget. So, if I was going to add, I am truly torn between NVIDIA, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. I think they're all good. I think for me personally, I wouldn't be able to go wrong with those. The reason I kind of sway toward NVIDIA, I think there's a lot more short-term potential, but the others are great long-term. I think that this is so overdone with NVIDIA. I mean, when you look at this and then you go and you look at the forward numbers on NVIDIA, I'm going to bring them up right now for you. I've never seen a company with this type of growth that is this size at all. It's insane. You're talking about a company that is about to grow 71% on revenue. The street is expecting to do $369 billion and then add $110 billion in revenue next year at 30% year-over-year growth rate. That is insanity. Absolute insanity. How this market is keeping NVIDIA down like this, it's all because they're worried about the CapEx cycle. They're worried about what's going on overseas. Fundamentally, NVIDIA is extremely cheap. And then earnings growth is 74% and then 34%. You're not talking about 5 analysts. You're talking about a ton of analysts. So I'm talking myself into freaking buying more. I am talking myself into buying more. Is Archer Daniels a grain company? What company am I thinking of that I could have swore that they did foods and stuff also. Yeah, they do. I will get to Archer Daniel in a minute. But I'm torn about NVIDIA. Look, Micron is so inexpensive. It's incredible. Problem with Micron is everybody is worried about boom bust. They're worried about it too in NVIDIA, but more so at RAM. All right, let's look at ADM for a sec. I don't know much about this company, to be fair. Food and beverage solutions, creating consumer-pleasing foods and beverages is part science, art, and business. We partner with you as co-creators and instigators to spark game-changing ideas and groundbreaking solutions. They have an ingredient portfolio. Animal nutrition, pet nutrition, human nutrition. Okay, they do oils, beverages, bakery, dairy. They do dairy and dairy alternatives. I'm sorry. Ice cream and plant-based indulgent. Get out of here. I'm not having plant-based ice cream. Sorry. Be that as it may, let's take a look at them. ADM. And I need to bring it up on screen so you can see what I'm looking at. ADM. Chart's really good, going right direction. 17 times earnings. Start the financials. $80 billion revenue. Huge company. Huge company. Let's make it bigger. Huge company. Very small gross profit margin. So you're talking about, man, really small. Operating income, less than 2%. Net income, less than 2%. Not a very profitable company for the revenue. $1 billion cash on hand. Let's see how much debt they have. All right, that's not horrible. 6.6 billion. A lot of cash from operations, a lot of free cash flow, 4.2 billion free cash flow. Okay. Earnings estimates. All right, good growth. So they're expected to do roughly 20% EPS growth, 15% next year, 16% next year, that area. Yeah, I don't hate that. That's interesting. So here's the problem. And I don't like looking at things like this, but it's a very slow growth company. This is a company that right now is going to work. You had a typo there. We want to look at AMD. You guys want to see me freak out? I'll look at AMD next for you. Absolutely no problem. All right. You guys just want to get me upset. I'll entertain you and I'll get upset. Absolutely. So Archer Daniels could continue working, especially with the market in flux the way it is. It's not terribly interesting, but it can definitely keep working. What's the dividend on this? Almost a 3% dividend. That's interesting. 24 year old. They're almost about to become a dividend aristocrat. Okay. Oh, wow. Friend of the channel, Dookie Pies here. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. All right, you guys want to see me freak out? We'll do it. Let's bring it up. AMD. Story time. Horrible. Okay. So around this area, I used to swing trade this for quite some time. It never really got above $8. I used to swing trade it, and then I got stuck. And it kept going down on me, right around here. Kept going down on me, kept going down, kept going down. And it got to about 198 or so. And think about this. It was 207 in 2012. And it was 191 in 2016. I held it that entire time. I just wanted my money back. I bought more, I bought more, I bought more. And when I started buying it, I think it was like 2010 or 2011, they had just came out with the APU chip, and I thought it was going to be revolutionary. Look, my entire thesis on AMD at the time was Intel can't let them go under, otherwise they'll be considered a monopoly because they're the only other x86 chip producer, and the APU chip had real serious competitive nature to it, and it was able to change the game. Okay. This thing, after being down for years on this, down 50% of my money for years, it shot up and I sold it right around here. It never came back down. It went up like 30% a day. It never came back down. And then it just kept going up. Now, to be fair, if I had held it, I was just 10 years early. If I had held it, I don't beat my, and this is why, and this is a lesson for people to take away, okay? Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on stuff like this. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat have stories like this. What the hell are the chances I would have held this past 15 or 20? Lisa Su was not the CEO. She had just become the CEO right after I sold, I think. But what the hell were the chances I would have held this past 15 or 20? Not good. So I can't beat myself up about it. I had 7,800 shares of it or something like that, close to 8,000 shares. So it would have been worth 1.6 million today. I would have never held it. So it is what it is. I can't get upset about it. But let's look at the numbers. I mean, that's incredible. They went from 9.7 billion in 2020 to basically 4xing revenue. I mean, that's great. Great gross profit. Net income's really good. Let's look at free cash flow. Huge, like 6.8 billion free cash flow. I like that. Yeah, I mean, incredible growth on earnings. This is just a great company. Honestly, AMD may even be inexpensive here. It may be cheap here. I'll say it. It may be cheap. Yeah, look at this growth. The growth for AMD is so freaking good. I'm not biased. I'm not going to say, oh, this company sucks because I don't know. No, it's a great company. It's a great company. I would have never held it to where it is today. So it is what it is. What I'm wondering is, where are they against Intel? So let's look at, let's go past mark. So if you ever want to, I don't know why it didn't update. Let me, I'll bring it up in a sec. Hold on. So Passmark software has a comparison for market share. AMD versus Intel market share. So all CPUs, AMD is really starting to close the gap. They're about 38% of the market right now on all chips. They've overtaken desktop market share. They're still well behind on laptop market share. And they're nowhere close on servers. I would have thought they would have caught up on servers with the Threadripper chips. They haven't. So they just haven't. Oh shit. Sam's in the chat. Sam, if you want to come on, I'll send you a link. Hold on, let me go to WhatsApp. Oh, you sent me a message. I have WhatsApp on mute. I apologize. Sam, I sent you a link. Yeah, this is really interesting. I would have thought they would have closed the gap on servers more than they did, but, you know, is what it is. I'm not buying back in. but I don't need to. I think that NVIDIA's got a lot more upside potential for me. I could be wrong. AMD's an amazing company, but I'm going to stick with Jensen. And so to fool, I was thinking about getting a dedicated phone line that I can put on speaker to have everybody call in on. I was thinking about that. We'll see what happens. What's up, Sam?
Dude, I was like blowing up your Twitter, your WhatsApp. I wish I knew you were doing market close. I would have said, let's do it together, but it's all good. I ended mine pretty early.
I don't have Twitter up.
Oh, that's all good.
What's going on?
I even messaged your mom to hit you up too.
She doesn't want to get in touch with me. You see Burry saying that remember, if big banks are offering you a way to make money, you're the exit liquidity.
Yeah,
oh, Burry.
He just he's already making money off of his Substack. He doesn't care where it goes. Yeah, he's making $10 million a year on it. Why would he care?
Craziness. So what are you looking at right now? Obviously, Micron blew it out of the water last night, gave the whole AI revolution a breath of fresh air, even though the market didn't take it that way. I think it was really good for Jensen and NVIDIA. What did you think about it?
I mean, those earnings were crazy, dude. Like, they raised guidance by $10 billion. They basically beat EPS by double the amount. They beat the top line revenue by a large amount. Like, these guys are not stopping. So I agree with you. The fear is that memory is much more cyclical in terms of semiconductors. I mean, when we've seen in past cycles with semiconductors, that memory usually is the last one to top out. We saw that happen before last April. We saw that happen in 2022 and so on. I think that's where the fear is, right? So if that is the case, then Micron would have put up a secular top. And there's all these theories that like, oh, there's a $500 set call wall over there. So when it didn't reach that amount, they had to sell their positions, and then the dealers had to sell the shares against all that stuff and everything. But I think the underlying fear is just that, right? The fact that people don't believe it. We saw with NVIDIA, and it's much worse with Micron, but that dip was bought up pretty nicely this morning. When it comes to semiconductors, I'm not looking at the memory stocks anymore. I feel like, I don't really want to get in that one anymore. I mean, it'll probably go up, but I am looking at the optics sector. So I did buy the dip in AOI as well as Marvell, but Marvell does have a optical exposure in this market, which is the reason why they're up a lot the last earnings. But yeah, man, I mean, it's difficult to say though that look at the market, right? It was nice to get a little bit of a bounce, but the last time this happened last April, I kept thinking it was the bottom, and it just was not the bottom. So I don't want to kind of do that for this time around. I don't want to just unload all my cash.
Yeah, I have cash ready to go. And I said I wanted to buy more NVIDIA and a few things this week, but I didn't want to do anything until Powell spoke because I was afraid he was going to do exactly what he did. And he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And the markets went lower. I think we're getting, unless something crazy happens, I think we're getting close. We're not out of the woods yet. We need overseas to be soft. And once oil scales back to 80, 85, I think that we'll start to be in much better footing. And then eventually it'll scale back to 70, 75. But we need the markets and the macro to change. And we need to not be in a position where we're only getting one cut this year.
I mean, it is a pendulum, right? So it's going to go back and forth with that one. We saw the same thing happen 2 years before that. We saw the same thing happen last year where there were like, I think they were projecting like one cut or something during like the low last April, but it ended up being, I forget how many cuts we had last year. What do we have? 4 or 3?
3.
The exact amount.
September,
3 cuts. Yeah.
November, December.
Yeah, wasn't it like a double cut last September? Or was that the September
bits,
before that?
Yeah, 50 bits and then 25.
I mean, there's probably going to be a cut this year. we're getting pretty near the terminal rate too. I think they wanted around 2.75. So we're 100 basis points from there. So 4 cuts in the next couple of years doesn't sound like it's too bad. They obviously don't want to cut too quickly, or at least Powell doesn't. But, you know, I do think that they're going to start pricing in more cuts as oil does come down here. You saw, I don't know if you're looking at crude, but this thing topped out at around $100 today.
Yeah, it's scaling back a little bit. It's 94.80 or something.
Yeah, I was looking at $100 today, and that's when the market basically bottomed. And then since then, it's been dropping ever since we saw the post about Israel PM. So that does alleviate some fear about oil. But to be honest, if this war keeps going, then that risk is still going to be there. I think that's still going to keep oil afloat. Like, we need the war to end. If the 100%. War does end, then that's good. I mean, if Israel keeps attacking Iran, but has some sort of control with like not attacking the oil fields and stuff and not escalating, then I think the market's gonna be okay with that. I mean, we've been okay with it for like the last few decades, so I'm sure they'll be okay with that. But our involvement and aggression in there is already starting to dissipate a little bit. And Trump clearly wants it to end. So we'll see what happens. I do think that the fact that FedEx is up 10% after hours is a good sign for a supply chain and logistics.
Especially with oil where it is.
Yeah.
Because their main input cost is up 50% right now.
Yeah.
So the fact that they can catch a bid on good earnings when oil hasn't even ripped through the economy yet, that's definitely good.
I think that puts FedEx near an all-time high. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a recession if FedEx is near an all-time high, but I was concerned about the credit spreads too. XLF also is just on a massive downtrend, so that's obviously not looking good. I did listen to this one cast with Steve Eisman on the private credit scenario with Blue Owl. That's probably still like a lingering concern. However, I mean, I don't know if this is like it, right? Like it would, like you were mentioning earlier, the reason why memory tops out last is because it's extremely cyclical. But generally speaking, companies' earnings seem very cheap at the top of the cycle, which what creates a top of the cycle. So there's a lot of high expectation with Micron, but I guess the market just doesn't care, similar to NVIDIA, where it just sells it off after good earnings and even after GTC. But dude, this war needs to end. I think everyone thinks the same too. Like, this war is a strain in the economy if it does continue happening.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's economics 101.
Yeah.
Oil touches every part of your life. When you have higher oil, you have higher input costs, you have higher transportation costs, higher fertilizer costs. That's a recipe for higher inflation. You get higher inflation, the Fed's not going to want to cut. You had corporations borrowing 5 years ago or refinancing at very low rates. You had people taking mortgages out at very low rates. And now debt's coming due. You have a housing market that's not unlocked. You have the 10-year going up. So you don't want the Fed back against the wall saying we're not going to cut. Maybe we only cut once in December. Maybe we don't. This is all because of oil. This can all be eradicated and this can all reverse over the next 2 months. But this needs to end in the next week or two in order for that to work its way through. We're not going down to 60 overnight. We could go to 85, though, and then gradually work our way down and have the Fed be a lot different, not nearly as hawkish as how Powell was.
Yeah, I agree. It really is on oil. That's really where the fear is on. And it like you said, it doesn't need to like drop down back to 50 or 60. I don't think it's going to go back there for a long time if it even does. But the volatility of oil is what's scaring the market. Same thing we saw with the rates last April. The volatility of rates is what scared the market, and the volatility of oil is scaring the market. But as long as we get that volatility down and we get that gradual stability of oil prices, then things could look pretty good. I mean, if I look at the CBOE crude oil volatility index, which is the VIX for oil, that one has been dropping. So as long as this doesn't creep back up to, it was at 125 at the peak. Today it's at 92. So it's basically retraced about 30%. And that shows that oil is actually going to come down based on this trend. It's similar to the VIX, man. VIX topped out at 38 Was it 35? 35. And we are lower in the VIX. The market is lower, but the volatility is lower.
Sam, do you know anything about Immunity Bio? So thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. Chris Cuomo had Dr. Pat Soon on, cancer cure approved, FDA question mark. I know nothing about this company. It's an $8.82 stock. It's an 8.8 billion market cap. I know nothing about biotech companies. Absolutely nothing.
Biotech is my weakness. I don't know.
I have never done well on those. I don't invest in them.
Yeah, I've only played Viking Therapeutics, but that was more for the GOP acquisition stuff. I'm not in that one anymore. But yeah, no, I don't know anything about these. What happened to Circle? Someone asked about Circle.
I have no idea what happened to Circle.
Yeah. They're involved in the stablecoin payment processing system, and they also own the USDC, the US stablecoin digital currency USDC. But that chart looks amazing.
Look at Dookie Pie with the jokes. It became a square.
It doesn't look like it became a square. Not on this chart. This is a great looking chart. Are you interested in any of the optical stocks?
I'm not. I'm not getting adventurous right now. I'm sticking with what I know, and I honestly don't own enough Amazon to go venturing out other places.
Yeah, Amazon is. I mean, all of these mega caps are just crazy down. Amazon was down a lot today, and then it recovered.
I think it's a really good sign that Amazon is holding 200 because that's the most exposed to oil out of all the mega caps.
That is true. That is true. Why would that mean that Microsoft is down? I feel like that's mostly sentiment.
All right, Kevin. Yeah. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Biotech is your strength. What do I want to know? Give me something interesting to look at. I know nothing about the space. Anyway, Sam, while Kevin is thinking something up, ONDS, you were in this, right?
On this, I traded it. I'm not in it.
A lot more people are talking to me about it.
Yeah. It's a drone stock. But I think that they're starting to get a lot of defensive contracts is what's setting the bull case for it. But they're going to move with the drone industry. I do have a drone position, but it's not in an actual drone company. It's picks and shovels play in drones. Amprius. They provide the battery technology for drones and a lot of other robotics and equipment. But that is my play in it. And that one's doing pretty damn good.
Interesting. Yeah, my friend's daughter is 17 and she's in this investing club in high school. And my friend calls me and she's like, my daughter wants to talk to you for a minute. And her daughter starts telling me about this company. Like, I think Sam's invested in that. Like, I'm not in it. Yeah, ONDS. Her investment group is buying it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very hot retail stock. I'm not going to lie. Clearly, it's overvalued based on today's valuation, but you're not buying these companies for today's valuation. You're buying it for the future. But if I were to look at technical analysis on this one, it is a pretty bullish chart. So it's, you know, if you pull up the chart in this thing, like, yeah. I wouldn't buy this now because it already made a massive move. Like, I'd wait for like a dip with a lot of these stocks. Actually, my bad. I was looking at the wrong stock. Okay, actually, this chart looks like it has a nice setup. But other than a technical play, I can't get behind this. It's too ingrained on the theme for me to be like very bullish in this. And the theme will all move with each other. Like Ondas, Kratos, AVAV, all those companies, like they are all going to move in the whole drone basket. So if one of them pulls back, it's likely they're all pulling back. Like even D-Pro as well. That one's probably the least performing out of all of them. Yeah, that one's the worst performing out of all of them. But like those stocks, like they're all going to move together.
Yeah, it's not industry I'm interested in. I'm interested in tech right here. I think tech is going to be the next value play. and I do think it's going to come back. I can't tell you when.
It's difficult to say when, man. The market's not giving you any signs that it's going to come back. Today's bounce was nice, but yeah, like I don't want to try to front run anything. It's just, if this is really what we're going to see. Oh, someone asked about VG. You guys got to remember, I'm not in VG, but you guys got to remember, look, VG is going to move based on the demand for oil and gas, right? Or natural gas, but it's mostly positioning, right? VG was all the way down at $5 and now it's triple the price. If you're buying here, and I've traded VG before with Chris, and look, I am not an expert when it comes to VG, but I could read relative performance. VG drops and makes a top when oil made a top today. It's higher than where oil was, so it's probably a better play in terms of oil, but you need some sort of constraint in supply to continue happening for LNG to be a possibility to replace crude oil and energy. Obviously, VG's long-term perspective is really good. Number one exporter for liquefied natural gas. But short-term, dude, look at the charts for this thing. It makes big spikes up and then comes down. So you would be chasing buying here. You would be chasing. I would be careful.
So let's listen to this. We missed it live. This is from 2 minutes ago, so I want to hear what they say about Micron.
To the print. I don't know that the numbers actually matter. It was great. It was better than great. It was enormous, right? But going into the print, I mean, I don't know that there was a high enough bar they could jump over to have it go higher from here. Interestingly, about the whole space, though, is the talk about longer term contracts. To the extent that happens, that should smooth out the boom bust cycle of PE multiples that normally a commodity like business like this would have. So that's sort of that's a fundamental, interesting change. This valuation, though, it's not.
Yeah, I think you've seen the near-term top in Micron. I think that move from 200 to 470 or wherever it topped out, right around there. If you think about what they're building, they're building on demand stated right now. There's demand shifts, there's demand slows, and then some of these could just be overstated. So I think you're going to see this year where this boomed. I think 2027 possibly be a bust for it.
2027 is when additional capacity will come online, whether it be through Micron or some of its competitors in South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, so the question is, how much does the market want to price that in now? It also, yesterday, on top of everything else, we saw, I think, $14 billion in free cash flow, which translates to about a 10% free cash flow yield, which is extraordinary. And we heard about CapEx, but as far as I can tell, this is still a very different free cash flow story than some of the hyperscalers who are on the other side of this. So I'm not chasing it here. I actually think it can pull back. I think we've priced in a lot of that into 27. And I do think supply will come on faster than people think. This is all people want to do. And by the way, in-house, there's a lot of places too where I think people are working on memory.
Yeah, if the market sniffs that out, whether it's 27, mid 27, they'll sniff it out long before that. And the other side of the cycle is as fast as these names go up, that's how fast they go down. And I guess the last 24 hours are glimpses of that. It was, again, historic, the quarter, but the price action is everything. So give it a couple days, but I wouldn't be a buy here either.
There's a lot.
So you think about what Micron did, blew earnings out of the water, went down. You think about what NVIDIA did the past 2 quarters, blew earnings out of the water, growth accelerating, went down, couldn't break out. That's a little worrisome for the short-term narrative, at least for me being in NVIDIA. I don't know what it's going to take for NVIDIA to break out. I keep rolling it in my mind that it is so inexpensive. I want to buy more. I have a big position in it. But at the same time, if it couldn't break out on a 70% year-over-year growth, is it going to break out when Jensen reports next quarter? Not in this environment.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a concern. NVIDIA, Jensen Huang announced $1 trillion in revenue Monday.
Did nothing.
And then it did do something, and then it sold all of it off. Yeah, those are not like extremely bullish signs, in my opinion. And that's really stopped me from buying the dip hard or thinking that we're going to go back up to all-time highs, because that just keeps happening. You keep seeing things sell off in really good news. And it's the other way. That's how you know there's a bottom, when things go up on really bad news. So I am cautious, but I'm not going to be like, oh, we're going down, guys. I don't think anyone can say that. I think people should not get too bullish, get not too bearish. And it makes sense. Institutions are unraveling positions. That is literally what's happening when you look at the CME, the COT futures positioning. It's what's happening when you look at the NAIM exposure index. They are, but we've seen this happen before. In fact, I would actually take a look at that guy's track record, the one who was like very bearish Micron or something. I wonder if he's been bearish the whole way up, because there's also that argument, right? Like, you're always going to climb a wall of worry when it comes to that.
Are you interested in Uber at all?
No, not really.
They're talking about Uber's Rivian robotaxi deal on CNBC.
Oh, right now, well, actually, Uber is investing $1.25 billion into Rivian to bring out their fleet. I think it's 25 countries by 2031. United States, no, 25 cities, United States, Canada, and Europe. And I saw that this morning, and I posted about it too. It gave up all of its gains today, Rivian. It was up like 13%, and it closed, I'll close up 4% because the market came back. But it sold off almost all of those gains earlier today. It was basically flat earlier today. Like, this doesn't look like an extremely bullish environment right now. That's the only thing that's making me cautious, is that rips are getting sold. So, you know, I don't think there's a rush to like 100% all in, buy calls. Like, I don't think there's any rush for that right now.
I mean, I'm not rushing into anything right now.
Yeah.
I was very interested in Reddit last week, and I'm like, I just don't know if I want to start the position, although it looks incredible by the numbers.
Oh, beautiful. I tried to, I bought a small position. I stopped myself out in it. Like, there's just, sometimes when I do that, I'm like, I don't even know why I even try, you know, but set a stop to get out. But I mean, long-term though, it looks like it's basing out. The fundamentals look really good at Reddit. This thing has been through cycles of fear, but I don't think this is a Reddit problem. This is an ad tech problem. Look at all of ad tech. Trade Desk back to pre-$150 million buy levels.
Congratulations on your interview. It was great. Zeta, you still feeling it here? Considering you just said we have an ad tech problem?
Well, this is more marketing tech.
I know.
But yeah, this is a software stock, right? They built a SaaS platform. This is gonna move with that whole sector. So yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a Zeta problem. I think this is just an overall ad tech, overall software problem. And well, the recession, when the recession fears kick in, what is one of the first budgets to be cut if companies have to cut spending?
Marketing and advertising.
Yeah, they cut the spending, then those are usually the first to be hit in terms of recession. It's not to say I'm trying to give my narrative for why this is happening. At the end of the day, no one actually knows. We just associate a narrative to it. But would I buy Zeta here if I didn't have a position? Yes, I would. I would buy Zeta here, but I do have a position. So I don't know if I'm trying to add to things right now or not because of that reason, because I already have a position and we only have 100% of our portfolio, right? So there's only so much we can add to something.
Yeah, I may add more. I like seeing zero, like, let me put it this way. I like seeing a certain amount of zeros. I don't have enough shares. I need to round it out, so I may have to add a little bit to round it out.
5 zeros, 10 zeros. How many?
I mean, I wish I could have 1,000 zeros, right?
1,000 zeros, okay.
That'd be nice.
That's a lot of shares. Not gonna lie, that's a lot of shares.
Not shares.
That's a lot of shares. Might be more.
No, I want to round out the position. So I was thinking about increasing my position by 20% to round it out.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I am very interested. I think it's an incredible company. I think it's going to continue to do well. And it made me, Jose just put it, I was looking at Toast earlier. Toast is looking, and I don't know a lot about the company, but on a fundamental level, Toast looks freaking interesting.
This is what I don't understand. I used to own this company and I got shellacked on it. close it at the 200-day moving average. They are a profitable company, and they're not even a small company either. They're a $16 billion company. When I bought them, they were almost double. They were like a 40, they're at like a $30 billion valuation. Yeah. The chart is horrendous. It's a software, it's a fintech problem. Yeah. Look at Shift 4. Same thing. Terrible chart. In fact, Shift 4 made 52-week lows today. All right. Look at Mercado Libre.
But
I don't know why that's getting sold. Yeah. Yep.
25% plus EPS growth this year and next year, trades at 22 times earnings, huge EPS growth, revenue growth double digits, and this thing can't catch a bid.
Yep. I know, man. It's a weird market. It is a weird market right now. If it was like all-time highs, everything is trading good right now, and Toast is the only one that's down, probably be a buying opportunity. But it's everything. Nubank is back in the low 14s. Mercado Libre is at $1,600. Mercado Libre, the Amazon Latin America, probably affected by the oil prices and logistics, but it's in Latin America. One of the fastest emerging markets in the world. Yeah. And they are profitable. They have proven profitability across the scale, and they're ramping up Mercado Pago. Toast is expanding into Australia. They are starting to expand on a global scale. I think they own like 40% of the digital merchants, or the merchants for restaurants in the US, something like that have digital payment transactions. I don't know, man. Like as Amit said earlier, like no one has any idea why this market's being sold. Maybe it's recession fears, maybe it's oil, but like other than that, this is a massive degrossing of a lot of institutions. And, you know, it's something to be aware of. I don't think that this is like something you got to kind of shrug off your shoulders. Oh, we'll be back at all-time highs in a couple months.
I don't know how we can say we're going to be at all-time highs in a couple of months. There's just no way to make that statement. And I'm a permable, but this time we may not get back to where we were until the fall. Like this is going to take time to root out. Now, I'm not saying we can't have a big upswing higher, but you're going to need a really good environment that points to rate cuts and solidifies that inflation is not creeping up.
Yes, sir.
You getting ready for next week?
I'm ready, man. I'm like 30 minutes away.
Love that.
Yeah. What time are you guys coming in?
Chris and I are getting in Thursday morning around the same time.
Oh, Chris is coming. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. Let's all hang out and stuff.
Yeah. So if you're around on Thursday, we'll be around. I think
Thursday might
a
be
bunch of
difficult.
people are coming in Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday might be difficult for me. Friday, probably. Saturday, obviously. And then I'm flying out that Tuesday, that Monday. I'm going to Egypt and I'm going to Jordan. So right in the heart of everything, right? You have no idea when this whole thing started. I was like, what of all times for all this to happen?
Now we really need it to stop like tomorrow.
Dude, it was so annoying. When all this started, I'm like, of all times, guys, we have this trip planned for the last like 3 years, and now is when you want to do it. I can't postpone it. If I postpone it, if I cancel flights, I'm going to lose money because I won't be able to cancel the flights now. And then the hotels and everything, like I already lose money if I do that. So I'm going to have to go. Dude, Jordan has one of the 7 world wonders, the Petra. Look at the Petra, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it's beautiful. And everyone knows what Egypt is. I mean, what's in Cairo? Pyramids, Sphinx, all that stuff. Yeah, that's one of the new 7 world wonders. So that would big check on the list. Jordan and Egypt are like one of the peaceful countries in the Middle East. So I'm hoping I'll be okay there, but I don't want to look, if I don't come back, you know the reason why.
Don't even start saying that.
Yeah, we'll see,
Don't
man.
even start saying that.
Hopefully everything is fine. I mean, looking at the way things were today with the market and the war, hopefully it's all said and done by then. It could be done by next week, man. Hopefully.
It could be. Look, who knows? Nobody knows. But it's starting to get to the point where I think it's how much more can we really do? If we're not putting boots on the ground, how much more can we really do?
I don't know. But well, I think it's more of like the unpredictability of Israel at this point, because Trump can't control them, and he's tried, and they're clearly not listening. Kind of the same thing that we saw last time with Gaza and Israel, except now it's like a whole freaking country that Israel's against, right? So it's a lot different. And I don't know if this war is actually going to end, but I want the escalations to end, and I want well, I mean, it'll be nice if there's just no killing. But you know, I don't, this has been going on for millennia, right? There will always be wars. But I would hope that our side ends at least, and maybe we can make a way toward world peace or something. But like, I don't know. I just thought it was like crazy how he said that he wanted world peace at the beginning of the year. And like 2 days later, he does Venezuela. And 2 months later, he does Iran. And it's like, what is happening here, man? This is crazy.
So did you see these headlines? Alibaba was down. They're saying that they're targeting $100 billion in AI and cloud revenue within 5 years.
That's like an Amazon style sell-off right there. And they are.
I need to look more at Alibaba. I used to own them. I got out of it around 160 or so. I bought my way out of a hole. I owned it at 220 or so, 240. I bought it the whole way down. Couldn't believe how low it got. And this is 2-3 years ago when the whole scare about being delisting happened. I called my broker. They told me what would happen. I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that. I kept buying it. It shot up. I made a little bit of money and I got out. But
what would happen if they got delisted?
So the broker that I used at the time said that I would still own the shares and they would transfer to the Hong Kong exchange. It may take 2 or 3 weeks, but I would be able to sell them on the Hong Kong exchange.
The stock would be lower though, obviously. But
Right.
yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
So I think that we're well past that now. And I need to go through the numbers and really look at it. Baba is the largest cloud provider in China. And if we believe that AI is the next revolution, and if we believe China is going to catch up, I got to believe Baba's going to do well.
They are, let's see here.
I got to look more into it.
They're the 5th largest hyperscale in the world.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Meta, and then you got the 3 guys. But yeah, Alibaba is the 5th largest. Yeah, I can't see Baba going to zero or getting delisted. There's too much investment from the US in there in terms of stocks. I think there's obviously a lot more dependent on that as well. This thing is trading very cheap right now, considering how big it is in China. But yeah, China tech is getting killed too.
Their balance sheet is so incredible. And these numbers are not updated yet. So these are from yesterday. It's a $300 billion market cap, okay? And when you look at the balance sheet, they have 52.5 billion in cash on hand between short-term investments and cash, with another 87 billion in long-term investments. But talking about 140 billion in liquidity on a $300 billion stock with only 36 billion in long-term debt. Like, this balance sheet is a fortress.
Yeah, but this company will never have the same premium as US stocks.
Never.
That's the only thing. Like, it'll never be worth as much as US stocks. So I would rather buy Amazon for myself than buy Alibaba, just to be safe. But also, yeah, if Amazon goes down, Alibaba's going down, and China Tech will go down if China goes down. Like that dispersion that we saw beginning of last year, all undone. It was all undone. The K-Web is under $30 again.
And by the way, everyone, Duke pulled it out. Never fear. Everybody's bracket is still safe. Duke pulled it out. 71-65. I think that just goes to show you how fragile that team is. And I'm a moron for not listening to my gut and taking Michigan State over them. Vanderbilt beat McNeese. Nebraska beat Troy. High Point upset Wisconsin. Louisville beat South Florida. We're getting some results in. Do you follow college basketball, Sam?
I do not. There's too much going on. I follow college football, but like, dude, I can't keep up with all this stuff. Yeah, I said that I was thinking about trimming Amazon, but that was only that was only because it's such a big part of my portfolio. So I think there's other ways for me to compound more money on it, and I'm past the long-term gains portion. But like, I wouldn't like sell like half the position or anything. I would just trim to like maybe add like 3% to a position or something. If Amazon goes back to all-time highs, you better believe that other stocks are going to run a lot more than Amazon. So that's the only reason why it's opportunity cost. Yeah,
I really like Amazon here. And I do think it's very strong that it did not go below 200 with the entire energy crisis that's happening. To me, Amazon is a $275 company.
I don't know
it's
why
just
would
not
that
going
be
to get
there.
there anytime soon.
Yeah. It just does not want to give Amazon that premium. Made a double top too.
I showed this before. I want to get your take. When you see, and I add a couple of companies to this, but when you see these types of valuations, with NVIDIA trading at 13.5 times 2028 earnings, with 58% EPS growth, Meta trading at 15 times, Microsoft and Amazon under 18 times. I mean, how inexpensive do you think that looks?
Well, considering the market's forward PE is 22, 23 right now, and some of these mega caps, NVIDIA is trading at 16 times. Like, I don't know, man. That doesn't make sense to me.
This is this year's earnings. NVIDIA 21.5, Oracle 21, Meta just over 20, Microsoft 23, Amazon 27 for this year. I mean, and then you go out 2 years. Amazon's got 54% growth in EPS over the next 2 years. They're going to add $4.11 of EPS from the end of 26 through 28. I mean, to me, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
So I'm sending you in the private chat the forward PE based on SP 500 sectors. So tech PE is actually higher. Tech forward PE is actually higher. And that's the forward PE for tech is 24.5. So if you look at your forward PE for those stocks, consumer discretionary is actually higher than that because of Tesla.
Yep, and keep
that
in mind,
makes these companies very cheap.
Communications has Meta and Alphabet in there. Amazon's in what? Consumer discretionary?
Consumer, yeah, 20% Amazon, 20% Tesla for consumer discretionary. That's why that's propped up a little bit over there because of Tesla. Tech, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Apple. Communication, like you said, 20% Google, 20% Meta. It's probably more now for Google because they have a much larger market cap. But yeah, those are trading very cheap. Financials is very cheap right now. Very cheap. But arguably, that is one of the worst looking charts I've seen. Like it just keeps going lower. XLF.
Yeah, let me bring it up. XLF. There's nothing I'm really interested in financials right now other than potentially JP Morgan.
Yeah, that one is pretty interesting too.
Nobody listened to me on Citigroup. I've been saying Citigroup since it was $40 a share. Nobody listened. I barely listened. I bought like not a lot of it. But
oh yeah, that was around $40 last April. But even before that, that was cheap. I heard about that one too. Is that mostly because they got more involved in credit cards?
So Citigroup traded at a 50% discount to tangible book value. Jane Fraser came in. She overhauled the company. She did layoffs. She got rid of sectors that really weren't profitable and only focused on the bread and butter, and turned the company around. But it was just like Truist. It was trading at such a deep discount to tangible book value that it just made sense to buy it. Yeah, this is not good.
Dude, look at AXP. That's crazy.
American Express.
Yeah, Visa's back below $300. MasterCard trading near the lows from April.
Down 14%.
This is mostly because of private credit.
Yep.
Blue Owl is making new lows.
I was looking at Owl. I did not buy it.
They're going to cut that dividend, dude. I would be very careful about that one. Look at their payout ratio.
No, I get it. The thing with Blue Owl is, though, even if they cut it by 50%, still got 5% yield.
Yeah, but those owls are going to sell that thing if they do anything with the dividend. It's being priced as if they're going to get rid of the dividend. Yeah,
their directors are buying, though. There's a lot of insider buying with Blue Owl and KKR.
So is there a reason why SLG is down? Was it because of the post you made on Twitter?
The post I made on Twitter?
Did people sell their SLG until they make some changes that you recommended? Did Bill Ackman say to sell SLG after he saw that post? Like,
so
this is a nasty fall.
It's a nasty fall. I think this is a misunderstood company. The fact that it's 15% short, a little wild. I think a lot of people are really worried about New York right now, and they're not going and listening to what Mark Holliday is saying. Before I scroll down, I believe he said 94.8%. It's somewhere. They got upgraded. It may be in here. Hold on. No, it's not. But I think that they're expected to get to 94.8% leasing occupancy. The problem with SLJ, even though they own amazing buildings in New York City, their revenue just keeps going down because they're getting rid of buildings. They're doing JVs. I mean, the revenue's going down. They're not as profitable as they once were. Let's go to EBITDA.
I thought they're converting a lot of their office space to residential.
They're starting to convert some. I don't know how much, though, but they're doing a lot of leasing. I mean, if I go to the last transcript, SL Green signals 2026 occupancy target 94.8% as leasing momentum accelerates. $7 billion refinancing initiative, $2.5 billion asset disposition. They always put something about the damn leasing. The company closed nearly 800,000 square feet of Manhattan office leasing in Q4, totaling 2.6 million square feet for the year. I mean, they're not in a position where people are leaving. They own the best buildings in the city. I think this is an optics thing with New York City, not necessarily an SL Green problem. But I wouldn't be racing to buy it right now either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did do an interview with Michael Secan. He is in Kraken Robotics bull. Where is that thing trading at?
The fact that SL Green is 14.5% short is interesting, though. And it may, I'm going to have to look at it again. It may be an interesting time. I think a big freak out was over Mandami. And I think that is over, but who knows? The next person I have to respond to is my wonderful governor, Kathy Hochul. She's gonna get a post on X tonight, I think.
You think that a lot of these are more politically driven, or do you think that it's more of just the whole sector going down? Because all of XLRE is going down. It's not just SLG. It's not just realty that's dropping.
Look at realty income, though. I mean, realty
That's
income's
all,
not having issues.
For realty income to be down, what is this?
I mean, look at the chart on realty
10%.
income. That doesn't look anything like SL Green's chart.
No, but it's still obviously weakness in real estate. In real estate,
Right.
XLRE is actually a safe haven.
And look at NNN. That looks nothing like SL Green's chart.
Yeah.
The problem is they're getting hit now because rate cuts are questionable. That's the big thing with them right now.
That's true.
SL Green, I think, now. I don't know where Vornado's at, so let's see if Vornado looks like SL Green. Yeah, it's a New York City thing because Vornado is, I believe, the second largest commercial real estate owner in New York, right behind SL Green. Their charts look freaking identical, and I really think it's an optics problem with New York City. I really do.
Is that the same thing with Alexandria Real Estate?
No, ARE, that is having other issues. They're very big in North Carolina. They lease to biotechs. They focus on biotechs. There's underlying issues there. I got to look more into it.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking about Ares Wealth Management. Oh, no, that's private equity.
That's private equity.
Yeah, because that one's dropping like a rock.
Oh, no. ABR, you're probably thinking of Arbor Realty Trust. They own a lot of multifamily in New York.
Yeah. Little worrisome. I remember when SLG was like such a good play. I sold that one way too early.
Yeah, right now it's just, I don't know. We got to see what happens. It's not something I'm running to right now.
Oh, there's definitely really good buys out there right now. I'm not trying to rush into these stocks yet. I mean, SLG is actually a very high beta REIT. Anyways, dude, I gotta go. Someone brought up Nebius. Hey, is Nebius a buy today? You think Nebius is a buy today?
I don't know. I think Nebius has to dilute shareholders more.
Well, they're going to dilute shareholders. Well, technically, they didn't dilute shareholders with the notes. But, you're going to get an opportunity to buy Nebius lower.
I think you will.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about buying it right now.
I mean, look, long term, I think Nebius is a good play long term. Do I think you can get a better price? Probably. I wouldn't be shocked if you can get a better price.
Oh, for sure, dude.
I'll tell you, Oracle's the one I'm like, do I dip my toes in?
That
for 2 years?
It's basing out, man.
It looks like it's forming a bottom. And before you go, just look at this growth that they're expecting. And this is now updated from earnings. I may be talking myself into building out a position because when I see Oracle is expecting their fiscal year is ending next quarter, all right? So the next year is only 7% EPS growth and then 35% and 48% EPS growth. And you look at the revenue, they're expecting accelerating revenue 31% next year and then 46% the following year, then another 40%. I mean, so basically over the next 3 years, they're almost tripling their revenue if the analysts are correct. That's interesting. That could change their narrative with borrowing and all the stuff with debt. I mean, that could really change the narrative and make this go to 300 or 400.
I mean, it is. They've sold this off a lot.
So hard.
For their involvement, one of the top hyperscalers in the world, probably one of the largest private data center build-out companies in the world. I don't know why it would be trading this low, other than just fear that OpenAI is going to blow up. or that they're not going to be able to meet the backlog. But this company was trading here last April, and it was trading here in 2024, right? Before they got their huge run up, before the whole OpenAI stuff went into the backlog, before all that. So is there a reason why it's still trading lower than when OpenAI became a very big portion of the backlog? Even if you didn't believe that that was going to happen, if you excluded the OpenAI backlog, it would still be a good buy, in my opinion. But I would not buy this stock if it came to it. Maybe for a trade, but I don't think I'd buy this long term, mostly because, again, I think there's better plays when it comes to data center build. This one.
I mean, it's hard to go against Microsoft, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. If the market is bluffing right now, then there's other things to buy than buy Oracle. Microsoft is pretty attractive. This is one of the cheapest Microsoft has been in a long time.
I bought more Microsoft 2 days ago.
That's good. That's good. How many zeros?
Not enough. No, it's never enough.
Just three zeros.
It's never enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, Microsoft is one of those companies that you can't own enough of. It's just corporations are not getting off of it. Like if you're on AWS, you're not leaving for Azure. If you're on Azure, you're not leaving for AWS. Nobody's getting off in corporate America of freaking Office 365 going to a freaking Google Suite. Nobody's leaving SharePoint. Nobody's getting rid of Teams and going to Zoom. I mean,
sorry, I just read something that was funny. Yeah, dude. I think they kind of blew up their own spot when they got a little too bullish in the Paramount thing, and I think that is actually hitting them harder on this one. Not because of the fact that Paramount has anything to do with Oracle, but because it's like, the whole Paramount purchase of Warner Brothers and everything, like that got pretty out there when Larry Ellison was one of the richest men in the world, and now he's not. So people were like, how's he going to make his money to do it? So that becomes like a little bit of a question. There's a little bit involved in there. Larry Ellison was one of the richest men in the world for like a week, and he came back down. But anyways, dude, really appreciate being on here. I wish I knew you were doing this. It would have been cool to do a collab on the market close.
Yeah, I just freaking put it out there. I will let you know next time.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even realize you were going live until I clicked on my own YouTube after I went live, and I was like, "Oh shoot, Steve is live." But it's all good, dude.
Only because Amit wasn't doing it.
Of course, the show must go on.
It must.
That's what I always say. The show must always go on, no matter what. The funny thing is, who's going to be doing the market closes when we're all in LA?
So I think on Thursday, I'm going to do it when Amit's on a plane. I'll do it from the hotel room, or I'll do it from the bar. And
a bar.
I think on Friday, we should all do it together and freaking go in like a conference room at the hotel.
That'd be fun. Someone
We'll
said
see if we can figure that out.
Yes, sir. All right.
All
I'll see you later, man. Thanks for having me on.
Week, Sam.
Later.
Dookie Pie, are you going to watch tonight? I will be live with Sleeping Beauty at 8 o'clock. Let's see. I will see if I can get a stream panel going in California since we will all be together. We will see. Awesome. 8 o'clock, Dookie. Low T Tanner, that's not nice. Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, hey, he made the picture with the freaking cap and the candle. So, yeah, red day, but the market rebounded a little bit. Gold is coming down. Gold at 46.60. Crude is coming down 94.74. We need oil down a lot more. I am very interested to see what's going to happen and really appreciate everybody being here. Did you see his reaction when MUB? No, I did not see his reaction. I was at the office when that happened. Not this office, my actual real office. Marta, I am probably coming to London. I gotta see if my schedule lines up for it. I'm definitely doing California, Chicago, Miami, London. I think I'm doing. Rachel, thank you very much. I tried getting the White House quant on. The White House quant was unable to come on. You know what? I'm going to go back and look at Tanner's thing and see him rage. I like when Tanner rages. Steve, worldwide tour. Maybe. I mean, if I come to London, I think that will prove I have a passport. I think that'll prove I have a passport. All right. I will stay live for 10 more minutes. So just start shooting off questions, and then I'm going to end the stream in 10 minutes. And then I'll be back with Tanner at 8. I got to get a couple things prepared for tonight. So we're taking all questions. And I am going to consider getting a phone for the desk for people to call into. Thoughts on Goldman layoffs? I haven't even seen the Goldman's laying off, but it wouldn't surprise me considering Morgan Stanley's laying off 2%. Goldman Sachs plans small rounds of layoffs beginning April. Yeah, not shocked. Not shocked. Come to Toronto. We can arrange Toronto. Why am I making a Discord? That's a lot of commitment for me. We'll see. I don't like Nike. Rachel, let me put this in the chat. So I did write an article on SMR. I'm interested. I'm not buying yet, but I am interested. When are you going to stream full time? I have no idea. You are welcome. I am happy to fill in for a minute. He said today that tomorrow he'll be low T Tanner. Steve, if you did go to London, would you interview someone there? Who would you like? Who's there? I have no idea who to interview out there or who we should even try to get. Quit my day job. I don't know. We're going to need a lot more people to watch if I quit my day job. I can tell you that much. Sleepy time Tanner. Yes. Sleepy time Tanner. Oh, I have not looked at DocuSign in a while. Let me pull it up. Oh, that's not DocuSign. That's DigitalOcean. I have no idea what DigitalOcean is. Richard Bronson. Oh, that's interesting. See if Amit can get him. Dell. Oh, Rachel, that's awesome. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I would love to talk to Tom Lee. I can tell you that. I would love to talk to him. Have I watched Apocalypse Now? Absolutely. Am I vegan? Stop it. You're welcome, Marta. What stocks are you hoping to? I'm not hoping for anything to crash, but I am really watching Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia. Nothing exciting. Nothing like, oh my God, never heard of this before. I'm not going to play Tanner's reaction, Dookie. We're not going to give Ned Flanders any ammo to give me a strike on it. I will ask Tanner to play it himself tonight. That way he can't strike me. Not saying he would. I'm just not going to give him the opportunity. Plus, it's something I want to ask him to play so I can see his reaction watching himself. I'll put the sign on for tonight when I come on with Ned Flanders. The reaction to the reaction, 100%. The reaction to the reaction. Uh, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is the stream with Ned Flanders, a.k.a. Tanner. Adian? Sounds familiar. Yeah, I think Tanner tried getting me to ADYEN. ADYEN. Yeah, I think Tanner tried getting me to look at this. Yeah, this is a fintech, isn't it? I will look at Addy and I will look at DigitalOcean and get back to everybody. Maybe we'll do that over the weekend. I have no idea what's for dinner. I got to figure that out. I also got to record a video. Got to do the night recap. So, got a few things to do tonight. I also need to respond to Kathy Hochul. I can't believe I'm putting myself in a position to do this, but I have to do it. I can't not do it. You know what? Matt's better than me. What can I tell you? I think RVI is interesting. We will look more at it, but I think RVI is interesting. Broken wings for dinner. I love it. I love it. No, Matt was probably busy. I mean, Matt's got a lot on his plate with his job. Matty De Niro. No, my glasses are prescription. I can't read shit without glasses. It's really bad. Very bad, actually. I still own Starwood. I still like Starwood. I think Starwood's a great company. I mean, I think Barry Sternlich is one of the best CEOs there is. I have not looked at LiDAR. I apologize. You know what? Maybe I convinced Jason to do a little something. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I convinced Jason to do a little something. Tesla does not miss me. Have I ever looked at SPY before? Once or twice in my life. Milkman merch. I have no idea. I appreciate it that you guys enjoyed the chemistry. Listen, it was a lot of fun. All right, everyone. I'm going to get going. I got to shoot the nightly recap. I got to try to write another article for Seeking Alpha, even though I really don't want to. And I got to get prepared for Tanner. I don't have enough time to do everything, so we may not write for Seeking Alpha tonight. I did just have an article come out on UTF, which is the Cohen and Steers infrastructure fund. I think you'll like it if you're into utilities and income and that type of thing. The name of the title is Yielding 7%, Sitting at the Crossroads of the AI Power Revolution. It's really, I thought it was a good article. Steve has a day off work, but still ends up working. Yeah, how crazy is that? I took the day off to work. Go figure. I wrote that article this morning, did 2 streams, going to do a third tonight. Took the day off to work. Tell Kathy we said hello. Listen, I'm going to be responding to Kathy Hochul. I am also going to go on a rant about how they should not remake Bloodsport. Okay? For the love of God, enough with the remakes. Do not remake. The only way that I will freaking watch Bloodsport is if all the people in the Kumite are from the UFC. That's it. That's the only way I'm doing it. Is if you get everybody in there. So it's the one movie that I do not want remade. I mean, there's probably a lot of them, but Bloodsport is a freaking amazing movie. Please. I don't hate that idea, Rambler. I don't hate that idea. GSP as Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't hate that. Don't hate it. All right, now you're just making me jealous, Billy Jack. That sounds good. A little medium rare filet. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right, everyone. I'm going to go. I will see everybody in an hour and 43 minutes. I got to make the link right now and put it out there. Really appreciate all the support, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody soon. Enjoy dinner.